Good afternoon and welcome to our live show. We're live here in Houston, BNI Now. We're March 12th, 2021. It's a wonderful date today. We're live on NowMedia TV channel 21.10 in Houston, and also, as of March 1st, channel 27.10 in Beaumont. So welcome to all our viewers in Houston and Beaumont. Glad to have you. Stick with us. We got a very interesting show. What is BNI Now? BNI Now is a show that is dedicated, to the membership of BNI members here in Houston and nationwide. What is BNI? BNI is Business Network International. It is the largest organization of referral marketing in the world. An amazing organization. If you want more information on BNI, I highly suggest you go to bni.com, or if you're more local, you're here in Houston, go to bnihouston.com. Check us out. We've got globally over 275,000 members, over 10,000 chapters. Over $16 billion has been basically raised or shared between BNI members in closed business. That's what we do. We refer each other business, close the business, and improve everybody's bottom line. Today we have 5 guests, so a little bit more than usual. So I want to get right to it. Let's start with our first guest, Armando Sierra III. You have to tell me a story about how you became the third. But Armando owns a Best Solutions paint company. They're local here in Houston, although he's got more than one location. So Armando, how's everything going today?
It's going wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming out and sharing your story with us. Tell me a little bit about which chapter, first of all, which chapter you belong to, and what's your experience been in BNI since you started?
I'm actually in the Woodlands location called the Crossroads with Troy and Tammy Newman. So far, it's been great. Very, very welcoming. Referrals. They've figured out the system on how to create business.
How long have you been in that chapter?
I've actually only been in there since January 1st.
January 1st. So literally only not even 3 months yet.
Not even 3 months.
And you've been getting referrals already.
You put out what you get out.
Yeah.
When you put in, you're going to get out. Definitely meet the people, mingle, pass the cards. You meet a lot of great people. Same business. It's weird because you're actually working with people that do what you do. They love what you do. They're passionate about what they do. So it's just that when you just have a lot of great people coming together, it kind of sells itself. It's BNI.
It's fantastic. Well, great. Thanks for that huge endorsement with such a little amount of experience in BNI. So it just goes to show it can work off straight off the bat. So paint company. So tell me a little bit about what you sell. Are you actually the seller of the actual paint itself? Do you offer painting services? What is sort of the scope of your company?
Well, Best Solution Paints I've been in the paint industry coming up on 25 years. Been doing it by myself for 5 years, being an independent owner, operator, delivery guy, marketing guy. And so I'm actually I don't have an exclusive. Kelly Moore is my exclusive, but I'm able, since I've been in the industry so long, I'm able to sell Pittsburgh paints, Benjamin Moore paints, traffic paints. I've created my own business that I'm
so
pretty
you're
much
sort of like an independent. You sort of are able to touch on different products depending on what your client needs. Is that right?
Absolutely. Manufacture my own. We do sheetrock. We do trim. I'm kind of like a one-stop shop. One call kind of does it all. And I work with a bunch of great contractors and referrals. So I kind of able to take care of everybody that comes in arm's reach.
So paint is a pretty diverse world, right? I mean, we're talking about anywhere from auto, paint for body shops, for example, paint for homes, for commercial purposes, maybe manufacturers. What's sort of what's your specialty, or what's your niche? Or do you even have a niche? Maybe you service everybody.
No, that's what I love about my industry is there's so many different products, from traffic paint to apartment paint to hospital paints, stuff.
Hospital paint. So what's hospital paint all about?
Hospital paint is where it's antimicrobial, where there's no mildew or there's nothing that can stick to a surface that can create contamination.
So it's like a COVID-free paint.
We got them.
Wow, that's
we
amazing.
we got them. Yes,
Especially right now, that is pretty much key for what's going on and what we're dealing with worldwide, really, when you look at it. So these are the paints that the hospitals use for their interiors.
OR rooms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're in every hospital. We've been there. We've done that. I'm just trying to, grow my business.
Blowing my mind right now. I had no idea that even existed.
Oh, technology has gone so far. I do fire retardant coatings where you can put your hand on the fire and it's not even going to. Oh yeah, I love technology, and the products that I can achieve, and make kind of sets me apart from everybody else.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, how's everything been for you so far this year? So, of course, last year, pandemic hit. It's been exactly a year since we started dealing with this, and obviously the state closed down, and businesses were all affected. We were all affected, whether we were working or not. What's going on? How have you seen your year? Has something changed this year? Or have you seen some growth opportunities? What's going on with your business? Has it started to improve? Are you growing?
My business, 2021 is having a rough start. 2020 was a horrible start.
Right.
March kind of killed a little bit of everybody's business. But as far as me, I lost 85% of my business in 2020, which is pretty substantial. But at the end of the day, I'm going to. It's just a moment in time.
It's a cycle.
It's a moment in time. And since I'm a little fish, and I have bigger fish in front of me, I'm going to grow my business.
Have you started growing already? 2021 starting in a more promising way.
2021 is going to be a great year for us. We have a lot of stuff in the pipes we're just ready for some good weather, and we're ready to rock. I'm very excited for 2021.
So who's your ideal client? I mean, if there was somebody out there watching us right now that you said, this is the ideal person that I would really like to have a contact or connection with, what would that person be like?
My scope of work and my technology and all my paint and all my products, I can actually go to any job. I do a lot of commercial is where I started. But I'm kind of phased out of the commercial due to the COVID, and I'm trying to break into the residential market. We deliver for free. We drop off samples for free. We don't have a limited quantity. We're really trying to make a mark for Kelly Moore Paints in Houston.
So would it be contractors? Would it be small paint, people that own paint, it's like painters?
Residential, commercial, the normal homeowner that really has their time schedules kind of varied. Everybody was like, hey, can you bring me a fan deck and leave it at my front door? Or hey, I got some color matches. Can you match this drawer? And being COVID, I was like, leave it outside. We'd send you a picture that it's picked up. We send you a picture when it's delivered. And usually I get a check in the mail within 10 days. So it's been I really, really try to make buying paint so much easier. We're a phone call away, and there's really no contact.
What if somebody wants to not just buy the paint from you, but they want you to do the job? Is that something that you can set up for them? I try to refer people that I've seen their jobs that I know is going to make all of us look good. So, the clients ultimately, when you have a happy client, everybody's happy. So I really try to get the right people on the right job that can do it, and try to be good price competitive, but I have the resources to keep everybody happy. It's built my business for 5 years with my service. Fantastic. So you can sell the paint, refer the painter. Anything else you want to add on that?
We do have a charity organization, so Spring Branch Community Outreach Center. If you guys can take a look at it, we do a lot for Spring Branch, where I grew up, and I really, really hope you guys check it out. Donate clothes. If you got some old beans in the closet that's in the back, we'd love to donate that to somebody that's in need. So if we can get that out, if you're not helping, you're hurting.
That's right. So, well, that's a fantastic thing to take, and it's very important, obviously, for companies to support local charities like that. So that's kudos to you on that. If somebody's interested in reaching you, let's say somebody's watching right now and they say, I've got I got a need to talk to somebody about my painting needs, or I need some referrals, or I need some information. Where can they reach out to you?
Yeah, you could reach me at bestsolutionpaintco.com. I'm online. My phone number is 713-480-7404. I'm I can make it happen. You know what I mean? We kind of know everybody. You know, when you have a great group of friends, they take care of you. So I can get a lot of stuff done in Houston.
One last question. So you're Armando Sierra the third. Is there an Armando Sierra the fourth?
There is.
There
Armando Damian Sierra the fourth. Yeah, he's way better looking.
I know that you had to keep it going.
Six-pack abs. Yeah, he's 16 years old. Yeah, he's single, and you know, no, he's you know, we always raise better.
Well, maybe we can set him up to somebody out there.
No. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for being here, Armando.
Thanks you guys for having me.
We appreciate it. And hopefully you'll come back and see us again. We'll be back after these messages. Thanks again for Armando Sierra, Best Solutions Paint Company. And stick with us. We'll be right back.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The NowMedia Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The NowMedia Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
If you are a real estate agent and are looking for a reliable cleaning company to keep your houses for sale or rental properties impeccable, Sierra Cleaning Services is your solution. With more than 15 years of experience, Sierra Cleaning Services has been the company of reference for real estate agents in the areas of Houston, Katy, Cinco Ranch, Cypress, and the Woodlands. Sierra Cleaning Services include residential, commercial, and office cleaning, window and debris removal during all phases of construction projects, and cleaning homes and offices before and after the tenants move out. Contact Alfredo Sierra at 913-439-8157 today and let Sierra Cleaning Services be your partner in your cleaning project.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The NowMedia Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The NowMedia Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Welcome back. We're live, BNI Now, and I now have with me very special guests. Basically, it's something that's really near and dear to my heart, marketing. We've got Andy King with us from Pinpoint Marketing. How you doing, Andy?
I'm good.
All right, well, fantastic. So other than BNI, which is definitely the best bang for your buck marketing-wise, what does Pinpoint Marketing do?
Well, for the most part, we go in and we'll help a business actually set up all of their online marketing, as well as all the components that need to be there to kind of supplement that. And so where we kind of come from is making sure that what we do are strategies and methods that have actually been proven, meaning that I say all the time, we don't spitball, we don't shoot from the hip. We're coming in with things that we know that have worked and have actually worked in other industries for that, for that business.
So we're talking about mainly online marketing, right? So I'm assuming that includes your web page, SEO, Google listings, social media marketing.
Yeah.
Does that pretty much encompass everything?
Yeah,
you're doing?
and we do all the traditional stuff. I mean, we have a full-time graphic designer. We write a lot of content, and content is key right now online. You know, the person that continually keeps posting, whether it be on social media, whether it be on your website, Google My Business now, you can put a ton of content up there. And the person that is the most consistent with the greatest amount of frequency is the person that wins online.
Absolutely. You got. I mean, they're always changing the algorithm, right? That's what
right.
I always hear. At least all the SEO people keep on telling me that. So social media marketing. It's I'll be honest with you. I've looked into it, and I always feel like, do these people really know what they're doing? It's such a sort of an ethereal thing to consider, especially when you're a business owner, and let's say you want to get into that space, right? You know that you need to get with the times. You know you have to have an online presence because, of course, more and more people are starting their searches online. So it's absolutely crucial to have that presence nowadays. How do you go about vetting, if you were a business owner, how do you go about vetting a company like yours to make sure that you're doing business with somebody that really knows what they're doing and is really going to have an impact positively on your marketing?
Right. That's a very good question, because there's a lot of people out there that are doing a lot of stuff, and it's not necessarily going to help you. So what you're really looking for, whether you hire our firm or you go somewhere else, you need to make sure that they've kind of been around the block, meaning that we've been in business for 10 years.
Okay.
And I've actually written a book about the most strategic and best strategies that you need to implement. And I've done lots of research over the years. And you also want someone that's kind of a student of history, because what strategies worked 50 years ago, 100 years ago, they still work today.
Right.
The medias are different, right? We didn't have the internet even just like 30 years ago.
Right.
But the strategies that worked 30 years ago are the same strategies that now work on the internet. So that's really what you're looking for. And I know it sounds kind of bad and kind of harsh, but anybody in their 20s or their 30s, they're probably not going to know a whole lot. And I know it's sounding like I'm picking on them, but the reality is that I know when I was in my 20s, and the whole point to my book that I've written, I talk about this whole scheme of me trying to sell used shoes out of a VW bus. I crashed and burned, and I was living in with my used shoes in the van down by the river. And I make, it's the punchline to it, but I tell my customers that's what you need to avoid. And so you do dumb things when you're in your 20s and 30s. Get somebody that has some gray hair that's seasoned, because they're going to know best.
And do you do it? Does it have to be all done as an integral whole, or can you piecemeal it? So, for example, you have a client that specifically wants to leverage just the social media, or is it really preferable to look at it as an entirety, because one thing feeds the other, and it becomes more comprehensive in that sense? Yeah,
and you're right to that point that it becomes more comprehensive. The problem is a lot of businesses don't have the kind of budget to be spending $2,000 and $3,000 and $4,000 a month.
Right.
And that's the most ideal thing. But if you don't have the budget, you don't have the budget. So we work with companies, and we have products and services that are as low as just a couple, $200, $300 a month.
Wow, $200, $300 a month. That is
but
fantastic.
They give them a bang for the buck. And there has to be value there. If there isn't value in what a business is receiving with whatever marketing that's happening, and it doesn't drive business, what's the point?
Right, you're like throwing money in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's just never going to come back to you. And that's exactly what I was talking about as a business owner when I've reviewed these types of proposals. I've seen them range from, $1,000, $1,500 a month, and big ticket items such as, generating your website, the design and everything that goes into that, all the way down to, $300-400. But the question is, what are you really getting for that? How much content are you really going to be able to pull? And how many times is the phone going to ring, frankly? Because that's at the end of the line. As a business owner, what I'm really worried about is if I'm spending my money here, is my phone going to ring? Do you guys have a way of measuring that? Do you guys have a? Okay.
Absolutely, and that's really, really a good point to make. That nowadays, every single marketing piece that you have, and when I say marketing piece, like your website, your Google My Business, your social media, really should have a tracking phone number on there. And I know with some people that are like, well, wait a minute, I don't want to have all these different phone numbers, and I'm going to confuse the client and this and that. Nobody really dials phone numbers anymore. Everything is a link, everything's a click for the most part. There'll be a few people that will actually dial, but what's neat about these tracking numbers is that they're completely seamless in terms of forwarding over to your existing phone number, but it will actually show you how many phone calls that you actually got every day, every month, and you can actually record the conversation. So if you have salespeople, you can actually find out how good they are with answering the phone. I mean, it's pretty sophisticated right now, the technology, but it's awesome. because
seeing,
you can
seeing
track
is
it.
believing, right? I
Yeah.
mean, seeing is believing. If you have
Absolutely.
if you have the data to back it up, I'm sure you probably have clients that maybe started off small and started to see that number grow and grow and said, hey, I'm ready to go all in.
Yeah.
Now that I see that this works and that this is producing revenue for me, let's go ahead and maximize it.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about the chapter you're in. Which BNI chapter are you
We are
you part of?
BNI Winning Edge. It's up in the Woodlands.
Okay.
And a great group of people. We have about 25, 26 of us. They're in the chapter, and we've got some people in our chapter that have been part of BNI for 15, 16 years.
How about you? How long have you been doing it?
I've only been in that chapter for 3 years, but I started with BNI 12 years ago.
Okay. And
So-
what's your experience been in BNI as a whole?
Yeah, BNI is probably, and when we get actually with our customer, especially a new customer, the first thing I ask them is, are they a part of a BNI chapter? Single best marketing that we have as an organization is through BNI.
Yeah.
And there's no comparison. Because once you are in BNI, you're part of not only your chapter, but you're part of a bigger group that anytime you go to any other chapter,
Any
you
other
have
city,
any
frankly.
city, anywhere in the
Anywhere in
world,
the
you have
world.
instant credibility.
Yeah, without a doubt. What about, I understand you have a special promo that you do, and that you also have a special call to, let's say a call to action that
Yeah.
you've set up. Tell us a little bit about that. So I know that you're doing something with Topgolf where you
Right.
invite people to come out and just have a conversation with you with no obligation, right?
Right, absolutely. So when we came out of COVID, it almost just about destroyed us because, as we were talking earlier, that's the first thing that businesses get rid of is the marketing. So we really had to go in and really think hard and redefine ourselves. So we really looked at the mantra of givers gain, and we realized that we weren't really giving as much as we should be. And that's why we were suffering. So we said, well, what things can we do that really we can show that we're actually giving to other BNI members as well as the community? And so we came up with Topgolf being one of them. And also we actually do a free business card landing page for
Okay.
anybody that's in BNI. We don't charge them for it up front. We're not charging them anything in the way of hosting, but it's just, especially with us being remote and everything being Zoom, we weren't handing cards back and forth. So we wanted to have something, and it's just a nice digital piece that somebody can have, and it's pretty comprehensive. It's more like a brochure than it is.
How many of those have you done, give or take, for BNI members?
Right now, we've only done about 30 of them. We've only been
Okay.
doing them for a couple months, but we'll as fast as we can do them, we'll do as many as possible because it's such a great piece just to kind of open up and kind of get to know people and. People do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Absolutely, no
Yeah.
doubt about that. That's another BNI
Yeah.
mantra, right?
Absolutely.
So if somebody's interested in maybe delving into the world of internet marketing, which if you haven't already, you need to get going. You need to get on that because this is the
Yeah.
way it is. This
Yeah.
is no going back. There is
Yeah.
no substitute for not being on the web at this point. How do they go about reaching?
Yeah, go to our website, just pinpoint MKTG, or they can actually email me, which is Andy@pointmarketingsolutions. Most of the time, if you just Google point marketing, you'll find there's other pinpoint
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
we
about a book.
yeah.
So I want to thank you, Andy. We
Yeah.
appreciate your time. It was a lot to think about. There a lot to digest. Like I said, if you're looking for some internet solutions, please give me a call. Other than that, we'll be back after these messages. We've got somebody else coming on, I believe, via Zoom or new technology. So stick with us for that.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The NowMedia video business card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The NowMedia video business card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today. Graphic design, banners, brochures, business cards, posters, any printing you need for your company's branding, Priority Printing SS is your solution. With more than 30 years of experience, Priority Printing SS has been the preferred solution for hundreds of companies for any printed materials. At Priority Printing SS, they believe in listening to you, bringing you creative ideas to effective results. Your printed materials talk about your company. Make sure they open the door for you. Trust your printed materials to the experts. Call Priority Printing SS at 713-575-9800 and let Priority Printing SS handle with ease all your printing needs.
My name is Brooks Boyd, and I'm the owner of Senior Savings Organization, a Medicare insurance agency. Medicare is confusing, it is not a one-size-fits-all plan, and I help folks navigate the maze. My main job is to educate so you pick the approach that feels right and make sure you avoid costly Medicare mistakes. I will help with transitioning from group health to Medicare with a personalized report to see if it makes sense to either stay on your current insurance or to consider enrolling into Medicare with either a supplement or a Medicare Advantage plan. And I'll explain the difference between the two and the pros and cons of each. If you need help with Social Security planning, I can show you how to maximize your benefits with the free Social Security Maximization Report to make sure that you are confident that you will get the most out of your Social Security benefits. I am an independent broker. This is a no-cost consultation, and you will never pay a fee with me.
Welcome back. We're live, BNI Now. So I have my next guest on. We've got John McCarthy. McCarty or McCarthy? It's McCarty.
Yeah.
Okay. John represents Mattress Firm. He's a senior manager at a couple of the different locations here in Houston. Quick fact, Mattress Firm is actually based in Houston. I had no idea.
They are.
Yeah, that's
They
fantastic. So you got to buy local. So one of my favorite topics as well, sleep, right? We all need it.
Absolutely.
And then the better it is, the better your life is ultimately.
Absolutely.
And I've gone through a couple of sleep deprived nights, and having to deal with maybe a little bit of insomnia, that kind of thing. And of course, the mattress makes a huge difference, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So sleep is it's kind of an overlooked topic a lot of times, but in the area of health and wellness, it's important. That's your body's moment to restore itself, so you can be at your best. You can perform and do what you have to do. Mattress Firm plays a big role because obviously we're the largest mattress retailer in the nation.
Wow.
We are actually founded in Houston in '86. We've been here. We're homegrown. Our headquarters is here. If anybody's seen it, it's off of 610 in Maine, right across from NRG. It's called Bedquarters.
Okay.
And, a lot of people don't know that, but
I did not know that. I've seen the building.
Yeah, so that's Mattress Firm's headquarters nationally. So, so a lot of our resources are here locally. We have a little over 90 locations in Houston.
It seems like every 5 blocks there's a CVS and then a Mattress Firm.
Exactly. So years ago when they were growing, there were some other brands, Mattress Giant, Mattress Pro, a few other opportunities, and we took them over. So we bought them out, and many of those locations became a Mattress Firm store. So, but for myself, I've been with the organization about 2.5 years. I'm a senior store manager. What that means is I pretty much manage 2 locations. Okay. So my main store is in Memorial, right off I-10 and Blaylock. It's a fairly large volume store in that demographic. And then my second location is a smaller location off of 290 and Tidwell. It's a Northwest Fairbanks location. But the unique thing about us is, we pretty much, what that means in being the largest mattress retailer is we pretty much offer every brand you can imagine. So if you imagine you're a Beautyrest, Serta, Sealy, Stearns & Foster, we are their biggest customer nationally. So we're like the showroom to many of the brands you recognize, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns and Foster, Sealy, and then you also have some unique brands in the market now from Purple. A lot of people are seeing that advertised.
Yeah, Purple. I think that they started online, right, or direct to consumer,
right,
and now they're going through the store. That's great,
right. So they paired up with Mattress Firm a couple of years ago, and we're like their national showroom. So they have some really great beds, some different technology that hasn't been around that long, but it's more of a medical grade product that actually is very, very great and is used in hospitals that treats burn victims and people that are permanently bedridden. So it has some really great health advantages, but yeah, it's been an exciting ride.
Well, tell me a little bit about the difference. So it just seems crazy that how many different types of beds. I mean, you've got, what can I think of just off the top of my head? Of course, there's the Tempur-Pedics with the foam. There's, the Sleep Number beds.
Right.
There's the, they have this system, that system. How do you go about navigating through the 20 different types of beds that exist, the Casper that you were talking about, to decide which one is really right for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. And because there's so many brands, that's a normal concern most people have. So that's actually what makes us unique, is because when you come into a Mattress Firm store, what we do is we have a pretty consultative approach that walks you through how to pick out the mattress. So we start with like the comfort, for example. So we'll ask you questions if you're a side sleeper or a back sleeper or a stomach sleeper, and we'll recommend a comfort
preference.
preference.
Wife would just say, he's a snorer.
He's a snorer.
That's what she would say, and he won't let me sleep.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get that a lot, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty common one.
Oh, yeah. So it's always a husband and wife look at each other and like, yeah, that's him. So, but we start with the comfort, and then, we also want to be conscious of the person's budget. A lot of people don't know, but we do have beds, as low as even a couple $100 and up. So we have.
And there's beds several $1,000s and above. So what's the top end of the bed? Is it go?
So one of those newer beds I was telling you about, like Purple. So Purple's like kind of parent brand that it started from, the original prototype, is a company called IntelliBed.
Okay.
And it's currently that is Stryker Medical's burn victim unit material.
Wow. So
and so they've been around for about 30 or 40 years. They're based in Utah, but their top end bed's about $7,000 or $8,000.
Wow.
And a king.
That. Well, that's a very big spread. So pretty much can take pretty much any care of anybody's budget and anybody's need.
Anybody's budget. Then we help you pick out the foundation. So that will be your step 2. So that whether it's a box spring or the adjustable base, which helps with the snoring. And then we help with pillows and sheets and accessories. But kind of digging more into it, what we really do is we try to like really find out what a person's real sleep needs are in terms of, do they snore? Do they toss and turn? Do they sleep hot or cold?
Right.
Do they have any issues with their back or their neck or their shoulder? Because then we can recommend the right material in the bed that's going to complement what those needs are. And so there's basically 4 options when you pick a mattress out. You just have imagine something more traditional like what you find in a hotel, right? That's what we would call traditional. Has a coil, has some layers of foam, some of them firm, medium, soft. And then you have like the all memory foam experience, which would be like your Caspers and Nectars and Puffies, and sometimes be like Tempur-Pedic. That's going to be your highest quality of a foam material.
Right.
It's the most adaptive, conforming. And then you have what's called a hybrid now. Those are really popular. So that's where you still have the coil structure of a traditional bed for support, but the surface level does have that adaptive memory foam feel. With it have cooling and things like that. And then Purple and IntelliBed are in a category of its own.
Right. It's specific to people that really, really need something special in order to get a good
or
night's
if they
sleep.
just don't like the idea of that adaptive memory foam feel, it's an alternative. It's something else that'll be comparable. It'll give you the same type of properties of pressure relieving and sleeps cool and things like that. And everyone's not too attracted to like the Tempur-like material.
Well, I remember way back when they first came out, it had a lot of people that, I knew a couple of people that bought some, and they're like, oh, well, it gets hot at night.
Yeah.
I know that they've done a lot of changes to that
Absolutely.
in the meantime. But what about the possibility do you guys allow for somebody when they buy a mattress, let's say they take it home, and it just doesn't work for them? Is
Absolutely.
there how does that work?
Yeah, so that's becoming really popular in the industry where you have a trial. Okay. So we've been doing this for years. Anything you buy at Mattress Firm, we actually give you a 120-day sleep trial. So it's like a comfort exchange. So let's say that same example, you take it home, and most beds, when you get it home, it's going to be a little firmer at first than when you tried it in the store. That's normal. Give it some time, it'll break in. But let's just say in a 4-month period, you hate it, and it's just not working out. You're not stuck with it. So you can always exchange or return anytime within that period. Now, all that process is come back in the store reselecting.
Okay.
Really easy. It's a no haggle process. Now, of course, if it's defective, something's like sinking or sagging, and it's happening too early, that's more of a warranty thing.
Yeah,
so
that's where you want a real company behind these products, where you can actually go to the store, or you can say, John, I need to talk to John. Where's John? Right? I need somebody's name, versus you're buying something online. You don't even know who to talk to or anything like that, or who to turn to.
Exactly.
So John stands behind his product.
Absolutely.
Which BNI chapter are you a member of, John?
I'm with BNI Memorial.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been in that chapter?
I just reached a year.
Okay. And what's your experience like in BNI? So you started right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Right in the beginning, a month before.
Yeah. And what have you seen? What can you tell me about your experience in BNI so far?
BNI has been extremely impactful in my business. I've always known the value of networking, but I've never been in a BNI chapter. Actually, I've been in sales 15 years. I'm originally from Los Angeles. I used to work in insurance.
Okay.
So I've known many of my peers to be in BNI chapters, and for whatever reason in the past, I just never got involved. But I started to do some networking with chiropractors, and I kind of learned that some of what they do in their practice layers with what we're talking about with sleep and the back and things like that.
Absolutely. I mean, it seems like everybody now, the importance of that people give to their sleep is much, much higher than it used to be.
Right. Exactly. People, I see that every day. They're really seeing I got to get quality sleep.
Sure.
It's just important. But anyway, I started networking on my own with chiropractors, and I got referred by a chiropractor. Hey, you should join a BNI. And but it's been great. I mean, just even the professional development online, the resources that's offered, the relationship building. I've made relationships in BNI that I would probably say I probably know them on a personal level for years to come.
Yeah, you become a lot of BNI chapters become good friends.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been great. I can't complain. I've actually had some advances at work professionally. I've gotten a few promotions, and I got to say some of that is because of my relationships and referral ability through BNI. So it's actually helped me out a lot.
Good. Well, tell the people that are watching how they can get a hold of you, or where they need to go in order to get a mattress from you.
Yeah, so I'm the store manager of the Hedwig Village location. The address is 9411 Katy Freeway. Phone number there is 713-827-1388. That's the primary location. If you live closer to the 290 Tidwell area, the address there is 13770 Northwest Freeway, Houston, Texas.
Give John a call. You will not regret it, especially if you want to get a good night's sleep, or if your wife punches you in the ribs every time you're snoring, unbeknownst to you.
Right.
So thanks a lot for being here, John. We'll be right back with our next guest. Stick with us.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The NowMedia video business card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The NowMedia video business card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Do you want to experience the ease and convenience of the latest and most advanced home security system? Are you going away on vacation and want to have peace of mind while you're not at your home or at your office? According to the FBI, a robbery occurs every 13 seconds, and homes and businesses without a security system are 300% more likely to be burglarized. Hawk Security provides security solutions to residential and small businesses in the state of Texas and from California to Georgia, building a custom-tailored security setup that matches your needs. Whether it is home security, fire and carbon monoxide detection, flood detection, connected senior care, managed video surveillance solutions, alarm monitoring, and life safety. In addition to fire and carbon monoxide detection, Hawk Security has a smart home and business integration, expanding security services to a lifestyle solution, keeping customers connected to their home and businesses from anywhere in the world, from their tablet or mobile device. so you can have peace of mind even if you're not at home or in your office. Reduce your energy cost, scheduling automatic changes in thermostats or lighting. And because we rely on our heroes every single day, Hawk Security offers security services discounts to military personnel, veterans, first responders, educators, and hospital personnel. Our mission is to keep our clients safe, treat them like family, and provide them with a user-friendly security system with personalized customer service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For integrity, honesty, passion, and excellent customer service, take a strong step today toward getting protected and call Rosanna Torres at 832-863-8574 because every home and business is unique and every security system should be unique too.
Welcome back. Okay, now we're going to have the Zoom conversation. We've got with us Scott Maderer from Inspired Stewardship. Are you there with me, Scott? Can you hear me?
I absolutely am. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. I got you loud and clear. How are you?
Perfect.
Where are you today? Tell us where you're at.
I am in the middle of nowhere. The way I tell people is I live outside of San Antonio, 45 minutes from the closest Walmart, Starbucks, or McDonald's.
45 minutes out of San Antonio, which direction? I'm actually going to be in the hill country next week, so I'll be close to you.
I'm out in the hill country, northwest of San Antonio, kind of between San Antonio and Austin area.
That's a beautiful place to be. That's a beautiful
Absolutely.
place to be. So Inspired Stewardship, I do a little bit of, every time we have a guest, of course I go in there and I do a little bit of research, try to figure out what they're all about. You've got a very unique website and a very unique service that you're representing. Why don't you tell us all a little bit about what it is you do and where did you get the inspiration for it?
Sure, absolutely. I'd be happy to share. So the way I tell people in one sentence what I do is I help Christian couples master their time, their talent, and their treasures so that they can live out their calling. How it came about is my wife and I had our own journey where we were struggling with debt. We were struggling with marriage issues. I was actually suicidal for a period because of financial stress. And as we began to kind of learn how to navigate that and learn to live our lives on what really was biblical principles and begin to develop a mindset of stewardship, of course, that attracted folks, and we began to have other folks come to us and say, hey, how are you doing what you're doing? And from that started a part-time business that now is our full-time business, coaching others. We mainly work with entrepreneurs and small business owners, but I work with other couples as well. But most of those folks that I work with, I find them wanting to get out there and do something. They've got a mission, they've got values, they know they should be doing it, but something in one of those three areas around their time, their talent, or their treasures is just holding them back and keeping them from being able to live out what they know God has put them on this planet to do. And so that's what we help them break free from and get out there and really do the mission that they've been called to do.
So you mentioned that you're doing business, your primary clients are businesses, right? So are these, because it sounds like more of a, I guess if you looked at it from a BNI classification, I don't know what chair you hold. Is it the life coach chair?
I actually hold the business coaching seat.
Coach chair? What's the difference there?
So I currently hold a business coaching seat in my chapter. There is some overlap, and there are some other seats that could potentially fit as well. But in the current chapter that I'm in, I hold the seat around business coaching because that main focus is around the entrepreneurs. That's my ideal client. That's who I love to work with more than any other. And so that's really the outreach that I have.
It's the entrepreneurs, but yet you're focusing on their lives as a comprehensive whole, right? So this includes, of course, their things like their family, relationships with their spouse, their kids, things of that nature, right?
Absolutely. So the way I look at it is all coaching at some level is life coaching, whether it's business coaching, whether it's career coaching, whether it's financial coaching, whether it's presence coaching, communication, sales, all of that. It still really is all life coaching because at the end of the day, we all only have a life. We have our life. That's it. That's all we can live out. And it just shows up in these other components. So it's almost, what lens am I looking through to talk about your life with you? And so because entrepreneurs, I don't know any small business owner where their business stuff and their home stuff doesn't intersect in some level. Because if you're working too much at work, it's going to affect your home life, and vice versa. So it all intersects and fits together no matter what anyway.
Okay. And then of course there's the portion about the Christian values. So we're talking about the Bible. Is this for, so the Christianity portion, I assume, is an integral part of everything that you do. So you're specifically catering to the Christian community. Is that right?
Correct. My main focus is definitely the Christian community. That's who, again, I don't do a test with people before they sign up for coaching and say, you got to check this box.
Right.
But they at least need to be open to approaching their lives through those sorts of principles. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to talk about the Bible. I'm going to talk about God. I'm going to talk about your calling. If that's uncomfortable to you, it doesn't mean coaching's not right to you. It does mean I'm not the right coach for you.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a very unique way to put it. I've never quite come across, we have, obviously BNI is very big on coaching, from the life coaches to the business coaches. It seems like there's a coach of some kind in every chapter. And I have to say that, yours is the most unique value proposition that I've seen out there. So congratulations on taking that road. And I'm sure it's been extremely helpful, of course, to reach out to people based on, the Bible and the teachings of the Bible. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about which BNI chapter you're a member of out there in the middle of nowhere. Are you participating? Obviously, we're all via Zoom right now. But were you a member prior to the Zoom, let's say the Zoom era with BNI?
Yes, I've been a member of BNI for 4 years. I originally started in a chapter in Bni, which again is about 45 minutes from me. That chapter closed and I joined another chapter also in Bni. So I'm currently part of the HC networking chapter in Bni. We're a noon chapter on Wednesdays. Okay. Right over that lunchtime. Of course, right now, like you said, we're meeting by Zoom, but I used to drive, 45 minutes to get to my meeting, usually stay after for at least one or maybe two one-to-ones. So my Wednesdays were pretty much my BNI day.
Well, that says a lot about the commitment that you have to BNI, to the fact that you were able to basically justify, an hour and a half of your time just in drive time, to get to these meetings and be able to comply with that requirement. Can you tell us a little bit about what your experience has been with BNI? Can you tell me any good BNI stories that you might have, having been a member for 4 years now?
Sure. A couple of stories come to mind. I actually started my business. I used to work corporate and I worked part-time, like I mentioned. And in 2017 is when I decided to take it full-time. So I left my quote, good corporate job on the 28th of July, and I joined BNI by the first week of August. So you can tell I already knew that BNI was going to be something I wanted to do. And in between July 28th and August 5th, I visited 5 chapters to find the chapter that I felt was the best fit. And what I was looking for is a chapter where there was that good balance between people that really wanted to live out the giver's gain, serve each other, really help each other, lift each other up, and people that were focused on business. There's a lot of networking organizations out there that it's great to hang out. You can make really good friends. You can find people that you connect with, that you share values with, but it's really more of a coffee club than it is a business group. And what attracted me to BNI from day one was the fact that they have an agenda, they have a process, they have a systems. I'm a coach. I'm a systems and process guy. Right. And so I was immediately turned on by that and attracted to that. So that's why I jumped in with both feet.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that, of course, BNI is still going strong as it relates to the pandemic. I don't think we even had, at least in our chapter, I don't think we had a week off between when basically they shut down, everything shut down, and we were forced to go online. And I found that for my business, I actually grew last year as a business owner. What was your experience like throughout this whole pandemic situation?
So one of the unique things about when there's challenging times is coaching often grows when there's challenges, because it wakes people up and makes them go, wait a minute, this thing that I've kind of been ignoring, that's just been a little bit of a thorn in my side, I need to fix it. And so again, like you, my business has actually grown in 2020 quite a bit over what it was in 2019. As far as BNI, our chapter, we've had our burbles, we've had our struggles. I think every chapter has, because online's different and you have to learn how to navigate and what's new and what's different. But like you, our chapter stayed focused on continuing to meet, continuing to do the process, continuing to attract new folks. We've actually grown during this time. We lost some members. We've gained a lot more than we lost. And most of the ones we lost, it was because of life things that happened to them. They would have left whether pandemic, no pandemic. It would have happened anyway. And throughout that, the only week that we've really closed down was the week of Snowmageddon, when most of us down here didn't have power.
Yeah, that's, I think all of Texas pretty much shut down for that week. Certainly, I'm an insurance agent, so we've been,
y'all were busy,
flooded, of course, with people needing help. So one last thing, Scott. How do they reach out to you? How can somebody that's maybe watching this show right now, or maybe later on in a post, how do they reach out to you if they're interested in your services?
Sure. I set up a special page over on my website. If you go to inspiredstewardship.com/BNI Now, you'll find a landing page. I've got links to some free resources. I've got links to how to set up a 30-minute call for me. There's no charge for that. We can talk more about coaching, talk more about your situation, see if it's a good fit. So all of that's over at inspiredstewardship.com/BNI Now.
Fantastic, Scott. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. We appreciate it, and thank you so much for sharing your BNI experience with us. I hope that anybody that's listening that may be looking at potentially some coaching opportunities, reach out to Scott. Clearly, he's got a lot to offer. This is going to be our last break. We'll come back with our last guest in just a minute. Stick with us.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The NowMedia video business card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The NowMedia video business card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
How you doing?
Graphic design, banners, brochures, business cards, posters, any printing you need for your company's branding, Priority Printing SS is your solution. With more than 30 years of experience, Priority Printing SS has been the preferred solution for hundreds of companies for any printed material. At Priority Printing SS, they believe in listening to you, bringing you creative ideas to effective results. Your printed materials talk about your company. Make sure they open the door for you. Trust your printed materials to the experts. Call Priority Printing SS at 713-575-9800 and let Priority Printing SS handle with ease all your printing needs. COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The NowMedia video business card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The NowMedia video business card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Welcome back. So this is our last segment here. We are live on NowMedia TV. This is the BNI show platform for BNI members. We've got our last BNI member with us here. Thanks so much for being with us, Charles Joya.
Thank you, Alberto. I'm glad to be here.
Fantastic. Well, we were just talking a little bit about what's coming up for you. So Charles is the owner of CHN Advisors. Yes. And of course, Charles is also a CPA. Certified CPA, certified public accountant. Charles's company specializes in taxes, correct?
Yes.
And bookkeeping.
That's right.
For businesses, I would assume.
That's correct.
So tell us a little about what's been going on with you. I know that, of course, we have tax season. We're in tax season right now. So first of all, thank you so much for taking time out of your very, very busy schedule to be with us. And I understand that there's some very specific tax information that's coming out right now as a result of the freeze. I think that there was something that they talked about giving some sort of an extension.
Yes.
Oh, I love that word.
So,
extension for taxes.
So let me start by just thanking you for bringing me here again today. We do a lot of taxes. This is tax season. There's a lot going on in taxes. And remember, there's a new COVID relief bill that just came out, which has a huge impact on what we do. So what we basically do in our firm, just to be clear, we do bookkeeping, we do accounting, we do taxes. We also help people with resolving their problems with the IRS.
Okay.
We help people structure their businesses so that they can optimize their taxes, and also that they can protect their assets. That's important. And one thing that I've recently gotten into, which is really, really interesting, is credit repair.
Okay.
There's a lot of people out there who are really hurting because of credit, and just walking through
especially recently was the result of a lot of unemployment.
Exactly.
And a lot of people struggling with their finances.
Exactly. And some people have given up on their credit, which is really pathetic in America.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have credit, you have nothing.
That's right.
So we help them to build their credit, and that's giving us a lot of joy, because just seeing the people as they wake up from whatever they are, getting that first home. I tell people, if you are working in this country, most of us who are in the low income bracket, the only place where we could really have some wealth being kept is in our homes, because you can build equity with your home.
Right.
But most of these
especially
people,
now, I mean,
especially
in Houston
now,
right now, over the last 10 years, the prices of homes have just
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
ridiculous.
And I see people coming to my firm. They've been working so hard for years and years, and they have an apartment. They can't even think about buying a home just because of bad credit. When you get such a person, and the amounts that they pay in rents to build the equity of someone else,
right,
they could use that to build their own equity. So we help those people. Whoever has a job, you come to me, I'll help you get your credit to where you could get your first home. And that's really enhancing for us.
Well, and credit repair, I mean, the reality is there's a lot of credit repair companies out there. I don't know how many of them are associated with a CPA. I think that makes a huge difference.
That is incredible, because people come to us because the problem people have with credit repair is they cannot trust these people. It's a question of trust. As a CPA, I'm regulated. I cannot play with anybody's information. I cannot do anything that is unethical.
If you want to keep that designation, you certainly can.
Exactly. So that is why I say I bring value, and these people trust me to be able to help them do that.
So how did you end up being a CPA, if you don't mind me asking?
Incredible. I started my career some 23 years ago. I went to school in my country back in Cameroon. That was in the late 90s. Then I joined a company called PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers. I worked for PricewaterhouseCoopers for a couple of years in Cameroon. Then I was transferred to the UK on this secondment program.